Welcome to Movies with James. Today we're talking about The Accountant. This action movie stars Ben Affleck, Anna Kendrick, J.K. Simmons, Jeffrey Tambor, John Lithgow. It's an all-star cast. I was very excited for this movie. The trailer looked amazing. Everyone was talking about it. It seemed amazing and awesome. I was expecting this to be one of the best movies I've ever seen. Let's talk about it. Alright, The Accountant got a 52% on Rotten Tomato. That is very surprising. The trailer was so, cinematic with the Radiohead song, Everything. And you don't really know exactly what the situation is. You know he's an accountant. You know he's like kind of a secret agent, or is he not? He has guns. You don't really know exactly the storyline when you watch the trailer, but you know it's going to be a cool action movie about like a really smart, cool guy. It's not that. The trailer is better than the movie, I'll tell you that right now. The trailer is advertising a movie that's not this movie. Here's the story. Ben Affleck plays some autistic accountant who's really good at shooting guns. That's it. He's just a super autistic dude. If Jenny McCarthy is right, this guy must have been bathed in a whole bath full of vaccines. Like, he is just... oh god. He's basically playing Rain Man who learned how to like shoot guns and beat people up. Rain Man with a sniper rifle. This movie is the cinematic version of a workaholic father. Just a letdown. I was expecting so much and I didn't get it at all. Alright, let's talk about the goods of this movie. Yeah, it's a good movie in the sense that it's a fun story, it's cool, but it was oversold to me. Like I was expecting an amazing, like The Accountant, da 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 da. But it was just like, okay, this is just like a run-of-the-mill action movie. It's not that amazing. But it wasn't bad. Anna Kendrick, the problem with Anna Kendrick is that everyone loves her. Everyone loves Anna Kendrick. Everyone likes her. That's why she's so good at acting. So she does her usual and that works great for her. That made the movie pretty good. Again, cliche movie. Ben Affleck saves Anna Kendrick and she kind of falls for him. They don't bang or anything. Actually thinking about it, they could probably rename this movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Because, that's kind of the story in a way. It's a cool action movie. It's entertaining. One of the best things I like is when he's doing his accounting. That's interesting. He's one of those accounting guys, that autistic kind of thing where he's like, they'll say, hey, what's 554,000 times 824? Oh, that's 927,000. That probably wasn't right. I hate that shit. I hate when people do that kind of math stuff. Like, screw off, okay? That's dumb. They relied a lot on Ben Affleck doing his little like autistic, not understanding social cues, and his responses being kind of robotic. It was kind of funny. It was funny. I'll give him that. Yeah, it was good, but it wasn't as funny as they're trying to make it. It was funny, it was actiony, it was cool to watch, but it wasn't as good as it was sold or expected to be, which is the issue. So yes, the goods are, it was, good, it was funny, it was action-oriented, Anna Kendrick was good in it. J.K. Simmons was a killer actor also, J.K. Simmons, but he's always amazing. He's like the best actor ever. Ben Affleck, I mean, he did a good job being autistic, but like I think, Dustin Hoffman did a better job. Alright, let's talk about the bads, okay? This movie, there's a lot of bads I just want to address. Number one, the action movie, it wasn't as action as I liked, okay? So the whole concept of this movie is it's going to be an amazing action movie, thriller, you're going to be like, whoa, the accountant's so cool. And yes, he is cool, but it wasn't that amazing or like surprising because you've seen that in the trailer. The trailer was so cool and amazing. I'd rather watch the trailer than the movie. Like the action scenes, it's like, okay, they're just fighting, okay, just get over with, okay, I've seen this a million times in every movie in my life, just fight and end it. Also, Ben Affleck, he like uses a Barrett 50 cal and like just shoots it like this. You can't do that. You can't do that. He has an Airstream inside of his storage unit with all his stuff in there, all of his money and all his guns and everything. I think it'd be funny if like he didn't pay his rent and like the show Storage Wars came there.
That hurts.
I didn't knock a thing. Get out of my way.
On and on and on and on. This is the holy grail.
The whole story is, he's an accountant for like bad guys, and he uncooks the books for the world's most dangerous people. Why? They really upped the concept of autism in this movie. Like, they wanted to make a whole social statement of, even if you're autistic, you can still be an international accountant for bad people. Yeah, great. But I just don't understand why he was doing what he's doing. Like, why you don't be involved in this world of people killing each other. Stop. Why are you in this world? I just don't see the point of it. Yeah, okay, there's like, oh, he's donating to autism awareness. But, I mean, you could find other ways to make money than helping out criminals. And also, the story was very dumb. Like, I thought it was gonna be kind of a smart movie, like, oh, like a Jason Bourne kind of thing where it's kind of entertaining or thrilling. It wasn't. It was just so surface level. He has this like secretary on the phone he calls. Hello, accountant, I have your information. And it's just so cheesy. It's so cheesy. Like, she's like a 007 secretary. It was almost like they're trying to combine 007, Jason Bourne, Mission Impossible into this one movie of this just like this super genius guy accountant, but he wasn't that cool. The whole motive behind it was just loose. J.K. Simmons plays like the director of like some kind of treasury guy. He's trying to find the accountant because he has a little vendetta and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. He seems unable to find the accountant when he's not that hard to find. Just look up accountant with autism who owns a 50 cow. He hires like this woman who's like out of prison or something. He'll go, it's your job to find him. If you don't find the accountant, I'm gonna put you in jail. Like, you could just, why couldn't you just like find him yourself, dude? Like, really? You have to hire someone to do it for you who's younger than you and inexperienced? It was very stupid that way. He launders money. Where do they launder the money? Yeah, the laundromat. It's just so cliche. It was just like run-of-the-mill, people fighting over a gun. Okay, I got it. It was so bland, cliche, cheesy, and like, not entertaining. See, usually dumb and cliche movies like this can be made up by being just really awesome and badass, kind of like 300 or John Wick. But it wasn't made up by being badass because the only badass scenes were maybe when they show him in the trailer and all this cool stuff. But it was there wasn't that like many awesome scenes of just, wow, that's badass, that's so cool. All right, let's review this movie. I do it in 5 categories: story, acting, production, creativity, and watchability. Let's do it. The story it's reasonable. I'll be honest, it's reasonable. It's a reasonable story. Hey, this guy is an autistic accountant. He doesn't really get along with people. He's an interesting character. Oh, he also does accounting for like bad guys, and he is in a bit of a pickle because, you know, he's accounting, he finds something he shouldn't, and things go bad, and do. Neat story, but that's not like a 5 story. That's like okay, that's a neat concept. Good, but the problem with the movie is they executed it poorly. But the story, hey, good story. The character development was good. A lot of dumb plot holes with the, the Treasury Department trying to find him and not being able to when he's not that difficult to find. The twist at the end with, oh, how clever is that? It wasn't that clever. The chronology from counting stuff to fighting to going back, it was loose. So the story, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible, but it's not middle of the road. It's one notch below middle of the road. So I'm gonna give it a 2.75 out of 5. All right, acting. The acting was amazing, particularly with J.K. Simmons, but we all know he's the best. The dialogue was kind of stupid. Well, the dialogue wasn't stupid, it was the situations they put the people in. Like, some cases it's like, oh, come on, really? This is gonna be cheesier than a Taco Bell executive meeting. It's gonna be so cheesy. What are you gonna do? It's a cheesy action movie. The problem is they sold it as being like a really smart, intellectual, Jason Bourne kind of movie. It wasn't. Anna Kendrick, her acting is just, oh, man. Oh, she's like one of those girls where like, just one of those kind of girls. So you have to like her. So, good acting there. Ben Affleck is awkward acting because he did this. His way of being autistic is just being like, what do you mean? I don't know that. He's like, oh, he's gonna have no social cues, he's gonna have no filter, he's gonna say what's on his mind. Oh, the classic Rain Man approach without the, speech impediment. I like Rain Man better. I think he did a better job. I feel like Ben Affleck wanted to one-up Matt Damon and get his own action movie because Sum of All Fears kind of failed and he wanted to get his new, accountant thing in to make like a sequel to it. It's not gonna, well, maybe it will because it's kind of stupid and people seem to like it because people are stupid, but, he was not very good in this movie. But he's never really that good of an actor. Jeffrey Tambor, he's good. John Lithgow, he's good. There's old guys that play old guys that are good at playing old guys. Congratulations. Because of J.K. Simmons knocking it up a bit, I'm gonna give acting a 3.5. Okay, production. This is where it kind of, it really, really fell apart in production. This movie could have been made good with the story and the acting if they made a way to make the production amazing. I'm gonna bring up John Wick again, or 300. These movies aren't that amazing stories, acting is not amazing, but it's so like, the action scenes are shot so like stylistically and cool and like fast-paced and awesome. You're like, oh man, this is badass, this is awesome. It works, and it's a cool movie. But this movie, the action scenes were just run-of-the-mill, boring action scenes. There wasn't any like really cool fighting or really ingenuitive, like fast-paced stuff, but they could have made it so much better if they had like some like, fast-paced kind of stuff, and they didn't have any like awesome, like, oh, this is so cool of a scene, like I want to watch that scene again. Also the transitions where they just go from accounting to, okay, now he's fighting someone in an F-150 truck. What is going on? They didn't have enough information going on. So production is a 2. Creativity. Creative in the fact of having an autistic assassin. Well, he's not an assassin, but he's autistic, like, tough guy. Cool message. Autism is great. You can still be an international criminal. What's the point of this movie? Now all these autistic kids are gonna go buy guns thinking, oh, I can be like the accountant. I'm not shitting on autistic people, but this movie really want to make them look badass. They really want to go, oh, autism, it's actually better for you. But whatever, it's cool. It was creative in the sense of that. I like that. The trailer was just so cool. I keep going back to the trailer, but with that song and like the window wiper blades, so it's a cool creative concept. They didn't execute it well. I'm gonna give creativity a 4. All right, watchability. Look. It's watchable because you're so excited for it to get better. You're sitting in the movie and you've seen the previews, like, oh my god, the accountant, it's gonna be so cool. He solves puzzles, he's a genius. But it's so cliche and cheesy, and the fight scenes, and then once you're like about 75% of the way through the movie, you're like, okay, I know exactly how this is gonna end. I'm pretty sure I know how this is gonna end. I've gotten hints pretty much the whole movie. The foreshadowing was not foreshadowing, it was foretelling. It's like, hey, this is gonna happen soon. Get ready, it's gonna happen. Hey. So the watchability was there, but it wasn't there. It was only there because I was so excited for it to be good and I wanted to get better, but it didn't. So watchability, I'm gonna give it a 3.25. 2.7.
Sorry.
Fuck. 2.75 plus 3.5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3.25.
The answer is 15.5.
Okay, sorry, I bumped the camera. I tried to act like I didn't just change the camera angle a little bit. 15.5 times 4.
The answer is 62.
62. You know what? That's a little too high. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the standard minus 20 for movies I just feel don't deserve it. So that would make it 42. Official score of The Accountant is a 42. 42. That's an okay movie, actually. That's a good score, I think. It's fair. Rotten Tomato gave it a 52, so they gave it an extra 10 points, but you know how the accountant probably skimmed some funds and paid Rotten Tomato to make it 10% better. I get it. They have a lot of money. It's Ben Affleck. What are you gonna do? He's like multi-billionaire. 42 is fine. It's fair. It's just a movie that failed so hard. And it didn't fail because it's a bad movie. It failed because it promised gold and gave like a little like bronze penny. Alright, some final thoughts on this movie. It is an action movie. It is not a clever movie. It is not a smart movie. And it's not a super awesome, high intensity action seamless movie. So who should go see this movie? If you're just a dude and you have some dude buddies like, hey dude buddies, you guys want to see The Accountant? I hear it's badass. Go see it. It was just like a whatever movie. It's like, okay, cool. Like in 20 years, you'll find it in a Blu-ray form in like one of those big old tubs they have in the line at Best Buy that no one buys. It's just one of those movies. It's nothing that you're not gonna get a poster for it and hang it on your wall. It's just a letdown, man. It's a letdown. All right, well, thank you for joining me on this episode of Movies with James. It has been a good time. It's been a disappointment. It's a bit of a prom night, you know, disappointment, but I'll be okay. I think you'll be okay. You're welcome to go see this movie. It's not like a movie you're gonna be sad if you miss. It's kind of like eating a big old thing of brown rice. It's just, okay, it's not bad tasting, but I mean, it's not like the best. I'll leave it there. If you'd like to like, comment, subscribe, do it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, do it. If you don't want to, don't. Have a good life.